Jermaine.
Cole.
Jermaine. We're here to talk about J. Cole's The Fall Off. This is not going to be a review. If we were to review it, we would take a lot more time to sit with it. And honestly, I believe that's the only way to deal with that with 3,000 songs to listen to. But we're going to talk mostly about what both sides are saying about this album, whether or not it is boring and puts everybody to sleep, or whether or not it is a classic instantaneously. We believe that both groups are wrong about either of those takes, and so we're going to talk about why. And starting with the streets. They say that it doesn't belong at the top. They say that, obviously it's boring. It's not a classic. He shouldn't be rapping anymore because he apologized. His bars are trash in general. His punchlines are not that clever. And then he has misses all the time with his punchlines. And so maybe start with some of the songs that you think are great, and we can kind of elaborate from there.
I think 2-6, Who the F Is You? Mm-hmm. Alone are enough to say it's not a boring album. I think it breaks up the storytelling very well, gives a lot of energy, and allows you to kind of see how he hasn't lost a step at all.
Was there one that really did that for you? That kind of really stood out to that?
2-6. Just the way he does not miss on how he starts his albums.
Yeah.
He just doesn't. So with 2-6, he does the classic J. Cole beat flip, build up on these bars, real disrespectful. It almost feels 2-6 niggas wild bitch, 2-6 niggas wild bitch. And
how could that not get you excited?
I don't know. And then he does the Drake thing where he was like, check your favorite rapper skeletons where they got.
Right.
He does the thing, which is sit in the pocket of this dope, epic build-up beat. Then he does a beat switch towards the end. He knows it's heat because it's the single that came out the day of the album. He knows what he has and what it's gonna do with the streets. No matter what you say, I promise you riding around the 2-6 or Who the F Is You?
2-6 has the energy of breaking up what people expect J. Cole to be. Mm-hmm. And it's the same energy that he brings to some of his features. The same energy that he brought to Middle Child. It's not the same old... Well, it is a story being told, but it ain't the same story that's being told over and over again. It's not a slice of life. This is what my city is about. And if you didn't know, maybe the last time you would have known was when P.D. Pablo was on. You know what I mean?
I think that's one I missed in terms of explaining how he hadn't lost a step. Old Dog is one of those songs. He not only paid homage to P.D. Pablo, but he brought such a relevancy to whether it's the club or the streets or wherever. He does not let his foot off the gas. Mm-hmm. So it's not like he's saying I'm just an old 41-year-old man who doesn't know how to make something that people feel. Mm-hmm. And still say relevant bars. And I think Old Dog did that too. In that same vein of if you had to pick the 3 songs that have the most energy, the most feeling for the streets, is gonna be those 3 for me.
Yeah. One of the songs that stood out for me is, and at first I didn't like the slower songs. I didn't like how this album started off. Mm-hmm. But Run a Train has grown on me, and I was interested from the beginning, but I needed a minute.
Yeah.
And I think he purposefully chose Future to connect to the streets.
Yeah.
I think he chose Future to make sure that there is a moment of the hip hop that kind of the Dirty Sprite type of hip hop, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He wanted that to come about, that energy to be in the project. And so Future shows up twice, right here. Mm-hmm. In Run a Train and Bunce Rose Blues, which I think are 2 favorites from multiple people's picks, if they were to say it. And having that connection to the streets ultimately tells me that like people are listening to this without even taking the time to like absorb it, without even taking the time to give it a chance. They're just writing him off because of like this bias of their impression of J. Cole over the years.
But I think it's also the, as you put it, the TikTokifying of music, where you have this album that is an hour and 41 minutes, which I do agree is a little too long, but it doesn't have to be 44 minutes like For Your Eyes Only was. Like, it doesn't have to be this short thing. We can get back to like actually enjoying the 305s, the 315s, the 320 songs.
But what was music like when he was riding around in those days, right?
Like that.
Yeah, maybe 12 years ago, right? So 12 years ago was 2014. Forest Hill Drives. So that's the last time he went home. Yep. And we know what he did with that album, right? We know what kind of energy he brought to that. He's making songs that actually last a little bit longer, that can be played for a little bit longer, that will go for your road trip or your trip to college.
Yeah.
This album ain't necessarily for niggas that roll around and like sell fentanyl or whatever the hell they're selling nowadays. But it ain't for that.
No.
And if you want music for that, go listen to somebody else. So I think that's why people are missing, or at least the streets are missing the boat. And so I think up next, if you don't have anything else, then we're talking about the fans.
Yeah.
The diehards, the RDCs of the world. Yeah, those folks are missing the boat because this isn't really a classic yet. What keeps it away from being that? Like, what songs keep it away from holding that title?
Anytime he wanted to talk about love on this album, I think he kind of ended up like missing the boat. So like when we're talking about, what song was that? It was Life Sentence. Life Sentence into like Only You. Whichever one has the Burna Boy feature, I can't. I think it's
Only You has the Burna Boy feature.
Why Burna Boy? Like, why do you need that long on this song? Like, no, go get Tim's again. Yeah. Like, have a response. Like, I like J. Cole when he's having a response to the things that he's saying.
This is a different take. I think he should have used Erykah Badu in a different way. It's such a waste of a Badu feature.
And you had one of the most iconic Badu flips on your mixtape. Use her correctly.
It feels like he just gave her some notes.
Yeah.
Instead of like really sitting down with her and etching out a new song.
The fall off is actually inevitable, it seems.
But I think one of the points that we were making beyond just the songs, right? Like it's too hyper specific.
Yes.
For people to like call it theirs or to resonate with some of these stories.
Yeah.
You know, you might have a hater or two. You might have like gone away from home and then came back and felt that type of energy. But nobody's living this life where they have gone off, pursued a dream, become a celebrity, come back home multiple times just to feel isolated. Nobody's living that life. That life is not that common. So if anything, this would resonate more with celebrities than the common folk, I believe.
Yeah. And I mean, even if you have like the aspirations, I think you end up with more situations where what song was it where he was dissing the guy and we were like,
it was Poor
Poor Thing, where it's like you get these moments where it's like, are we supposed to be here? Like, does this feel like, and I think Cole does that so much where you feel kind of uncomfortable being near his memories.
Yeah.
Because it's like you feel all of his anxiety, his insecurities, you know, when he addresses it by talking about, you know, I'm just a product of a broken home. I just come from broken homes. And I think he did that it was on Birthday Blizzard. But like, still, yeah, it makes you feel disconnected from the music sometimes. Because it's, like you said, it's so into his personal life, into his personal relationships with a whole bunch of people we don't know. And it's told in a way that doesn't like sometimes allow us to know whoever that is to even feel something.
Yeah, but those Cole fans aren't totally off base, right?
No.
A lot of them feel very deeply.
Yeah.
And they're very emotional people, and
Very.
For lack of a better term, mulatto. like Cole says in here, like I don't know why he used that, but whatever. They are in their feelings, therefore it is difficult for them to separate themselves from the emotions that they're feeling with the music. And so they just instantly say, this is a classic because it most resonates with me.
Yeah. And you know, you're a fan. Hyper fans.
Right. They're already in the early adopter segment. You know what I mean? You don't have to cross over to that. But speaking of that, if you, as long as you don't have anything else, I'm wondering, like, it sounds like the impression that J. Cole wanted us to get from this album is that he's not going out to please the general public anymore. He's moving back home. He is hanging up his, microphone from the record label, so to speak. And I think what microphone he's about to pick up is that one that is, I make music for these people and these people only. What else is he trying to tell us from your...
I think he is trying to tell us again that he loves hip hop again. With I Love Her Again, it just felt like that. Don't expect that this is the last time you'll hear from me. I know what I said, but I'm already pulling, the best rapper in the game, so-called Jay-Z's move, and giving you the fact that you should be anticipating more music, more free music. And there's just another level that I can reach now that I reassess and understand where hip hop actually is.
I think he's taking everything out of the major system, right? And most of his work has been away from that for a while because he's been out of his deal for a while. But like, he is spending time curating a community. Like he sends out text messages to his fans right now. He did the whole website thing where it only had the podcast that you could, access if you signed up. And then if you downloaded that podcast, you later got one of those text messages. He's also put the album out on Even, which will allow him to earn directly from the project without the label taking a cut. So like, he's being multifaceted with the way that he is selling. And I think that is to prop up his exit from stardom.
But I do think Cole is about to show something very, and this is what I mean by it's going to grow into a classic. The shots and the footage and everything that he's going to get from selling these CDs is going to show that, like, whatever it was y'all was talking about, look at all these people at the car. Look at all these people, like, trying to just get this CD. Remember this feeling. To, like, there are going to be kids that are introduced to something that is so specific to us growing up that you streaming kids don't understand, that you are going to get an opportunity to understand, that I think is going to be really game culture shifting, because I think other people are going to want to try and do this.
I think he made that same point on Quick Stop.
Yeah.
He's like, it ain't about the fame. It's about the people that believe in you and making an impact. And like, I still believe that both of these groups are wrong. And ultimately, we're coming down to a project that is phenomenal. It's incredible. And it's gonna stand the test of time. It's yet to be seen as a classic. But like you said, let's wait on it. And J. Cole's not really done. So if you think he is, just wait.
But what do you guys think of the album? Is it a classic? Is it trash? Is it boring? We discussed all that, but if you'd like to do some more discussion, leave it down in the comments.
I don't care what you think. In those comments, who the is you?
Hey, and we'll see you in the next piece. A 1 and a 2 and a peace.